In this video, we're going to be doing our walls, their inner walls. So what I did, I went up to the ground floor and I'm just going to go ahead and start doing the walls. So I'm going to press walls, and over here in walls, I'm going to be doing an edit type. Again, I have my building journal where I have all my components, and I can see that I have an internal wall, and the internal wall that I'm going to be using, there are 3 types, or 5 types, sorry. So these are the types I'm going to be using. The first wall I'm going to be using is 120. So I'm going to say duplicate. I'm going to call this one 22 for the SFB number. I'm going to name it 01, and it's going to have a thickness. No, the first one is the thickness. It's going to be a 300, like that. Edit type, say 300. Okay. Okay. And the first one is actually this one. I want it to go from the ground floor up to the first floor. I want it to be wall center line, and I'm just gonna click it from here to there. And this wall beneath looks kind of thick, and that's because I forgot to change it, like that. Now it fits. The next wall I'm going to be creating is the 120 walls. So again, I could choose wall up here. I could edit type. I could create a duplicate of it. Call this one 02 120. Okay. Edit type. Remember to say 120 in here. Okay. And again, it's going to be my wall center lines. I'm going to place a wall from there. This wall, I'm just going to make it go all the way over to the other side. The problem is, then I have a problem over here because they don't align correctly. So I can't place it in center. So I'm going to say align this one with that one. Thereby it's moved over a little bit like that, and I just joined them. I'm going to be doing the same on the opposite side, so I'm going to choose it, say create similar, place it up here to this end, and don't connect it all the way. And the reason is you shouldn't connect it down here either, because if I connect it and then try to align it, it will move this wall too. So align it, that one with this, like that, and then it's then able to drag it down like that and allow the walls to join like this. It did not join. There. It looks like there's something wrong down here. No, it's just a glitch in my project or my computer screen. Well, the next wall, again, click this one, say create similar. I'm going to be placing one right here. Right now the distance doesn't really matter. I'm going to be placing one somewhere like that, and then I'm going to be placing one from the center of this wall or this module grid line. Again, don't click it all the way up. Align it like that and drag it up. And again, the line is this one. So do we have our walls over here? Yes, we do. I'm going to be going over here now, and I'm going to be doing the same walls. So I'm going to choose this one, right click, create similar, wall center line. I'm going to have a wall that runs from here all the way up to the opposite end. I'm going to have a wall that runs from here and down to there. Again, do not align it, because then you're going to have a problem. Or don't connect it, sorry. Align it, you are allowed to. Do it like this and then drag it down to it so it connects. Again, I'm going to have a wall over here, so mark, create similar, and the wall is going to be going from here like that. And then I don't have any further walls over here, except I'm going to be going over here. And here are two types of walls. I have a brick wall that's 168, and I have a regular brick wall that's 108. So I'm going to say architecture, wall. I'm going to be saying edit type, duplicate, and duplicate is going to be 03. It's going to be 168. Okay. Edit type, change it to 168. Okay, okay. What I'm then going to be doing is I'm going to be saying not wall center line, but finish face interior. I'm going to be saying minus 54, and I'm going to be placing a wall that runs from here all the way up to there. And by doing so, I then know now that this wall and that wall, they're aligned. So if I press AL for align, click on that one, you can see they're aligned. That was that wall. The next wall I need to do is wall, edit type, duplicate, and this is going to be a 4. It's going to be 108, and I'm going to press OK. Change it in here to 108. Okay, okay. This wall I'm going to be placing in the wall center line, and I'm going to be placing it here to there, and I'm just going to be putting a wall in here like that. If I measure these walls now, choose wall faces up here. If I choose this one, you can see it's 3,192, which is a brick measurement, and it should be the same on the opposite side, which I know it is. From here to here, that should also be a brick measurement. And if in any doubt, I know that I could go in and I could calculate. And I could look in here, I could say that the opening, my measurement, let me just find it again like that. My measurement was 2486. So if I look, the nearest one would be 2412 or 72. Another way that I could have figured this one out was to say 2486 divided by 60, which is the module that you have in bricks. It would say 41 point that. Then I would say, okay, 41 times 60, that's the measurement. And then I would say, when it's a window, I need a joint all the way around, so I would say plus 12, and it's 2,472, which was the brick measurement. So I'm going to pick this wall and I'm going to say 2472, and it actually moves on the opposite side. If I look on this side over here, this would have a measurement at 2652. If I took that one and said 2652 minus 12, which was the joint that I added extra, and said divide that by 60, I would have a perfect measurement of 24 or 44. So that's correct. So now we have all our interior walls in the ground floor. I could move down to the basement and do the exact same thing. So basement, and in the basement I'm going to be choosing my walls, and it's not a 108, it's a 120. So pick those walls, and again I can see my underlay, which is my ground floor, and I could actually just draw after them. So wall center line, place it here, draw one there. I could do the same thing over here to this side, and I could have one here. That was the wrong one I snapped to, so I'm just going to grab it from this end to make sure it's actually correct, like that. And I'm going to place one here, and then this wall needs to be moved. So we're going to take this wall, drag it down like this, and say align AL. That one's supposed to be aligned with that one, and you know what, we're just gonna undo that because I need to figure out what is actually the distance that is like that, 6 millimeters. So I could just move it 6 millimeters like that, drag it down, and it would snap perfectly like that. Now I have my, oh, we're needing one over here. Click this wall, create similar. I want it to be the finished face exterior, no offset at all. I'm going to place it from this corner to over here like that. Now I have my walls down my basement, but I'm just going to jump back up to my ground floor because what happened is we moved the wall in the bottom or in the basement, so I'm going to be moving this one too. So I'm going to be moving it, and we calculate it to 6 millimeters like that. Control S to save it, and then I'm going to go to my first floor and I'm going to do the walls up there. What you could do is you could choose these walls that you have here like this. The reason that I didn't do brick measurements over here is because this is gonna be from some kind of concrete elements. So the only areas I have bricks and the inside is over here. But anyway, I chose these and I'm gonna copy them. I'm gonna go up to my first floor, and what I'm able to do is I can say paste, and I can say paste or align to selected levels. So I'm gonna select levels here. I'm going to say which level is it. I want it to be the ground floor or the first floor, and press OK. What happens is it then adds them to my first floor. I could have done the same thing with this wall. So choose it, copy it, go to the floor that you want it to be in, and say paste, align to selected levels, choose the level that you want it to be in, the first floor, OK, and it actually comes. The reason I didn't pick these over here are because these are made of concrete, and the walls that I want to do over here or up over here, they're going to be made from plasterboards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to wall, I'm going to pick the wall, say edit type, the G 2202 120. I'm going to do a duplicate, and the only thing that's going to be changed is actually this serial number. It's going to be from 2 to 5. Okay, this is correct. Okay, okay, and then I'm just going to be using this, actually just using the center of this wall and using this to draw my new walls on the first floor. And now I have my exterior walls and my inner walls. So if I look at it in 3D, I would actually have pretty much the whole complex of the building right now. So what I want to do is I want to be placing some foundations under my walls over here. So I'm going to be doing that in the next video. So I hope you can use it, and thanks for watching.